If you wake up around 6:30 in the morning, lie there staring at the ceiling, and feel an actual weight pressing on your chest before you even get out of bed, that doesn't automatically mean you're depressed. What you may be experiencing is something researchers describe as occupational misalignment. Society teaches us that work is simply a fact of life and that we should be thankful as long as the paycheck is steady. But when you look at your salary and it feels more like a receipt for your lost time, 40 hours exchanged for an amount that barely keeps up with rent, you're not being ungrateful. You may simply have what psychologists call a high need for autonomy. For people wired like this, a traditional 9 to 5 isn't just dull, it is mentally and neurologically exhausting. Before we unpack why this feeling of being trapped shows up so strongly, I want to mention that I've built a community of people who think the same way. Inside it, I share psychology-based insights like this regularly. If that sounds like your space, you'll find the newsletter link in the description. The first reason the 9 to 5 feels unbearable is something known as effort-reward imbalance, and this one hits hard. Many of you don't actually hate working. What you hate is working under someone. That difference matters. Your brain runs primarily on intrinsic motivation. You want to be rewarded for the value you create, not for the number of hours your body occupies a chair. In most corporate environments, you're selling your time in bulk. Whether you give your best effort or do the bare minimum, the pay stays the same. For someone with high agency, this doesn't feel fair, it feels like being robbed. Self-determination theory explains that this setup undermines your psychological need for competence. You have a results-driven mind trapped inside a time-based system, and that friction drains you. This leads directly to the second issue, what I call the autonomy gap. And this isn't only about money. It's about dignity. It's the frustration of needing permission from another adult to attend a doctor's appointment, or reporting to a manager who contributes less than you yet still controls how you do your work. Research published in the Journal of Occupational Health Psychology shows that autonomy predicts job satisfaction more strongly than income. When you're constantly micromanaged, your brain releases cortisol, the stress hormone. One major study from 2017 even found that low workplace autonomy is linked to a higher risk of cardiovascular disease. This doesn't mean you're difficult or rebellious. It means you have a high internal locus of control. You function best when you're steering your own ship. So if the 9 to 5 makes your skin crawl, does that mean you're destined to struggle financially? Not at all. It likely means you're better suited for what economists refer to as a portfolio income model. This connects directly to what Barbara Sher described as the scanner personality, or what's also known as the M-shaped mindset, which I've talked about in a previous video. A portfolio income model doesn't rely on one job to pay every bill. Instead, it's built from several income streams that reflect your different skills. You might freelance for 10 hours a week, sell digital products for 5, and run a small consulting service on the side. And the surprising part is, you enjoy it. That's because you probably have what psychologists call multipotentiality, the ability to thrive across multiple interests and creative paths. The industrial era convinced us that one person should equal one job. Historically, that idea is completely wrong. For most of human existence, people were generalists. We hunted, built, traded, and adapted based on the season and opportunity. The 9 to 5 is a modern construct, and often a restrictive one. Research from organizational psychologist Adam Grant shows that extreme specialization can reduce innovation and increase burnout. On some level, you resist this system because you know it's fragile. No matter how skilled or loyal you are, you're replaceable. A portfolio income model counters that weakness. It spreads risk. If one client leaves, you don't lose everything, you lose a fraction. A 2023 study on gig workers found that people with diversified income sources experience 34% less financial anxiety than those relying on a single employer. Wanting this doesn't make you unstable. It means you're designing resilience. Now, I know the fear that pops up next. Isn't working for yourself risky? Here's the honest answer. Depending entirely on one company to provide your income, security, and future is the biggest gamble of all. That's not real stability, that's dependence. Data from the Bureau of Labor Statistics shows that the average person changes jobs about 12 times in their lifetime. That safe position is temporary by default. You don't need to quit tomorrow, but you do need to stop telling yourself you're lazy or broken because you dread going to work. You may be what researcher Emily Wapnick calls a multipotentialite. You're exhausted because you're pouring your energy into building someone else's empire instead of your own. So start small. Whatever your interests are, lean into that multipotential approach. Give your brain proof that income can come from your abilities, not just from a boss's approval. If you want to dive deeper into the M-shaped personality concept, I've linked that video in the description as well. And if you're serious about building freedom on your own terms, drop a power hand emoji in the comments so I know you're with me. Don't forget to subscribe and join the newsletter community below. There's a lot more coming, and you won't want to miss it.